Monte, Ebe,
Good afternoon to you wherever you are. Up in Shabbat, get your pass and come on. Merry Christmas to you. And the New Year just at the corner. So I would like this opportunity to say Happy New Year in advance. I know you're ready to meet 2024, right? I got a lot to tell you about that. Just share the link, invite some more. Let's do it together right now. On a Saturday, it's about politics, it's about life, it's about what we live for. Life without politics is nothing, you know that, right? I have a special guest.
Let's do it right now. Vibe, come on. Sanity, so not.
Just share the link right now for me. Let's invite some more. Let's do some politics today. Let's know about the Ghana's consulate. Every information you need to know about renewing your passport, getting visas to Ghana. Yes, this is Accra, the Opa visa. Opa Ghana, Accra, a visa on arrival. So, Ghana for it. There's a big no more. FK in Asia. Mr. Frederick Kofi Amia is the head of information Ghana's consulate, Ghana Mission, New York. I'm going to go to Simple and Shazam.
OG, the mic president.
Abijapa. Pa, machwa.
Me impata.
Empata, and then the other pata, man, because and easy.
I think about it's almost 2 years and then you didn't come.
I think COVID move.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
COVID no you tired doing come on.
Right. Pam.
Maybe after COVID we back could be.
Yeah.
Fetch me.
Mate. Ghana for a feel.
I'm my film papa. And say me boss baha head consul general.
Consul general so ba yeah.
Say be putogum shegum dancing chrome.
No oh
say. Me ma official pa.
Me da say
me need some adwuma no. Me need the echi so.
Okay, me da say.
I think that Debi ameba ha bia no me dey avaso body kese e de mamo.
Yeah, that's it.
Mo ya de mo sustain the system because
right.
Some few years, I think about some few years ago, I recall, now there were a lot of this
media
platform
right.
in the system. And no chawanya omunina in Yihobio. And I think you guys are still in the system. And Mona Akoka.
Yeah, that
most of my canteen for Mucha Chaha. Monye pro or against
David, we're not against any political party.
That for me is good.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
From religion to social issues to health,
entertainment,
right. Baby,
that's right.
To politics. More come on.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, you're more. That's right.
Aside that, when say a moonlight birthday party. In fact,
me that's it.
You made it a good one.
Me that's it. I'm the
president.
Me sure that we share a program. I said
that was the first time.
Oh, I see.
Oh, but I never doubted because I'm a player in the industry, so I follow that as well. And say Obi war the potential now say Obi you gooder. You can tell.
That's true.
Even say no cry now you can tell from afar. And I had no doubt say we are that good.
Me that's it. Pass it.
Bia o ya ponto you bia bi no. Na wo hia obi amana di me chiamia. I think the OG I don't think that I need to even advertise.
No, sir. Coming from the big boss, no, it's a big endorsement.
What I know prekese no.
Devil,
coming from who head of information, our Ghana mission, no, it carries some volume. So, yes, this is a great recommendation. You can never.
I mean, I'm very particular, especially who core programs is the MC or the coordinator. And I say, say
right
Ghana for your program. I recall the first time I knew Shia was, I think, was the residence of the ambassador, president, bar. That was 2019.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, interview and is on YouTube.
Right.
I was the MC there. And so when I see a potential, I see a potential. And I think say you are truly good. Don't say your MCB or be announce programs.
True.
But Obisu or he keeps the place lively. And if you want that in your opponent to be, I think say you are the right person
Yeah, thank you.
In the system now.
Thank you so much.
But I said, no, I'm in flash.
Oh, man.
Maybe my friends,
You deserve it.
Thank you. A very big one coming from Tenasapon. Hello, MCOG. Good afternoon to you, Tenasapon. I've been Shapa. Professor Mafia Ngomo Mpacho. I can't show. I think to the real say coming from Tenasapon. Thank you. Dawara. So you're also live and watching. Thank you so much. And then I see Benji Kumasa. MCOG, good job. I think radio #1 station in the diaspora. No size. Thank you very much, Benji. I'll also show a guy who said, yeah, more and Emma keep it to that level. Nyakupon Shanopa. Moshe Lincoln on a fini begin come. Papa, yeah, and then Menyan will fear Hano. On yet, Obia Sak, not just a mere politician. Or no, the whole Ghana mission, head of information, and no Babets Nan. And Basi Yanko Ghana's consulate, Yanko information is the right person. And then the begin Komoka craft for a prayer. Who are passport will be fast renew. Be our passport never seen no one sank high. Dear courses are no mano. Acquire fast your application will be per visa. ABC none in Sankai. And I will inquire on Faso. This is some of the things we are going to ask him. After that, well, Osai NPP need the young fan on channel. The best I could DNPP in Commerce Kakra. Nayashe say, GDA, any papa need that should be ever Emma Ghana. Say Ghana be ye, and I say, a bekoso asinki, and I say Ghana a kosho, and I say, no, and I say, Tiba for more, meaning no more, you be, and until the day, a branch in Moyam for you at the abroad. Now, say, the meaning no son or tear, where you'll be a winning. Moon day one or son and a vim no, a tear be seen, and no, easy, and easy cry. Okay. Yeah, na yanko. Mr. Amia, whatever my can want some crazy say Ghana for so be Tuesday and person who Mr. Amia is.
Oh, said we introduction. Bansana no, my main fakunya isuna menchia a year. Your man penny Nanadu Dankwa Ekufuado, and in the video chili a year Dr. Mamudu Baumia. Na machia say we no na mintin sim embra a year New Yorker. Baby army way. We say your missions me technically in Cameroon send me answer. And the USA, the embassy of Ghana, Washington DC, and then we have the permanent mission of Ghana to the United Nations. So then we have the consulate of Ghana, and also New Yorker. So baby I jurisdiction me head of information to the permanent mission of Ghana to the United Nations. So that means that once the United Nations an amalgamation of countries,
right,
193 countries about together to form the United Nations, and your headquarters New York. In Ghana as a mission me the head of corporate affairs and public affairs.
Oh wow!
But because we have the consulate, the offices of the Ghana mission, so we operate as one entity. So we call it Ghana mission. Otherwise, in other jurisdictions and other countries, you should have had the consulate separated from the Ghana mission.
Oh, sir.
Oh yeah. So, in fact. And again, the Ghana consulate falls under the embassy, not the permanent mission. Do you get it? But Openi, I think Philip Beho, who was then the permanent representative or ambassador, I think in the 80s, thought, why should we have Sikase Muntino? Why should we have a separate office, a consulate? And consulate means that where the population of your citizens in a particular country, and then the embassy or the High Commission. You find a High Commission when it's in the Commonwealth states or Commonwealth countries. So Canada is now like a Commonwealth country because they owe allegiance to the Queen. Okay. Or call South Africa, most of the African English-speaking countries, they owe allegiance to the Queen. And you find a High Commission. Intina Ghana embassy near Canada and your friend High Commission. And then the ambassador is called the High Commissioner, not the ambassador. But I'll call outside the Commonwealth from embassy.
Okay.
So the embassies or high commissions are situated in the capital city of the receiving states. So in this case, Washington, D.C., and all the embassies are. So embassy no ho. And also consul general, consulate no, you're pony free. Your friend is saying embassy no. As a matter of fact, every embassy has a consulate in it.
Okay.
So when you go to the U.S. embassy in Ghana, there is a consul general in the U.S. embassy. In fact, the ambassador in Ghana no, a free U.S. no, and you're in the issue visas. So consular, your friend, consular services, passport issuance, the welfare and well-being of the people. Niginano is the job of the consul general or the consul general or the consulate.
Okay.
What I say? So technically, in Ghana consulate, it falls under the embassy of Ghana that is supposed to be in the your friend is saying Washington D.C. But because of Sikase Muntino, you do be permanent mission no our office no 1947 East.
Interesting.
And then also the permanent representative to the United Nations also has extraordinary plenipotentiary like our 2 means will be representing the president. And that same 2 million ambassador no Washington D.C. no or so for that matter he is the head of mission. Only ambassador Nukuta the same powers no. So they thought say okay, say consulate no be call Washington no my reporting while there's a head who hold the same power as the ambassador in Washington D.C. no, then they should report to him.
Oh.
Otherwise, in case Honorable Atabuafo should be reporting to Honorable Hajia Mahama. And not
our DC.
Honorable friend is His Excellency Harold Ajimai.
Okay.
So that's how come we have that. So Makan is I think that having said that, so far so good. Said American, I am the head of information for the permanent mission to the United Nations. But because we work in the same way, you can't
so boy Juma me,
fortunately, in fact, pre-COVID in Yamba, December, it used to get very busy. For some reason, it used to get very busy. You and no crown near the boy mom was no and mom ye visa home your money adi. But having said that, I think so far the 2 AM penny 4 or more Mekan Samami Fanchia Kesiamano, His Excellency Harold Adlai Ajimai, the head of mission, and as a permanent representative or
no Kromaya.
Yeah.
I don't know the
because only a career diplomat or a foreign service officer. He's a pure diplomat. And so over here, the head of mission and a permanent representative, you choose politicians. We choose career diplomat. Foreign service of Juma or foreign affairs.
I see.
Like seasoned diplomats. You don't bring politicians to. In fact, we tried it once. It didn't work. JJ de H.E. Kofi Awuno. By 1994, I think, and check and so after that, be a career diplomat. So, an American say the job of the relationship between the people, the Ghanaian people, and then the mission is the job of the consul general, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. Of course, the ambassador also does same. And I'm saying why not because of our activity or role in the United Nations Security Council. Said when I think that we discussed it here before.
Right.
2 years ago, Ghana, in seats, we were elected to be part of the, I think, 15 non-permanent seats of the United Nations Security Council. Now, 31st December, Wachina will be our last day on the council, and so far we've done well.
Wachina is the last day.
Yeah, the last day, yes. So on the first, Ghana ceases to be a member of the Security Council non-permanent. So we are no more.
Wow.
And amid that, our last days, we were able to achieve a very monumental feat. I think that idea also me Ghana for share. So now no, the UN will finance about 70% of peacekeeping operations in Africa.
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's a great news.
Oh yeah, idea. Oma concerns the formation of the United Nations. Nembada. So you BB A3. A3 African 3 representatives now more Security Council. So that was Mozambique, Gabon, and Ghana. Oh. Together we were able to coordinate and with the support of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Honorable Shelley Ayokobotwe Juma. They were able to convince the rest of the world. Oma Jesa they were to. I know that part of Ghana's ambition and now you go and person. Campaign. If I was the coordinator for the media, say on the Rebecca, so I'm not COVID now. Sorry. So I was coordinating Zoom meetings and all of that. And among our promises on the council was to ensure the UN will finance the peacekeeping because we share 70% of the decisions I take here now and command discussions across through our Security Council now. 70% are about African countries because Sebi or Kone, small arms, so I think it's a great thing that the president through his minister, the foreign affairs minister, and then the permanent representative and all the staff, the committee officers, political coordinators, Openi Felix Boating, excellent job. His deputy, Madam for Bismarck Ayana, and all of them are Juma Kese. And the boy, and my kind of say, when my mincha, consul general, so Ghana, baby, will be a Michiano. Okay, yeah, Namincha, your head of chancery, say administrator, like another same as administrator, Felix Nyaku, excellent man, wonderful man. I haven't worked with such a wonderful man like that before. He's a very good man. See, Makan is a real diplomacy next year. Now let's zoom into the politics. But I mean, you talked about visa name. And then Yamana.
Yeah, baby.
Oh no, man, Yamana because now it's visa on arrival, so you don't need to struggle to go to the embassy and apply and go through all the hassle. You just take your passport. You get to the you take your passport, you buy your tickets, you do airport. Immigration on your right. You go there and then visa on arrival.
On arrival.
In fact, visa on arrival, I think it's something that is being done even before the announcements. And we are aware, say.
Right.
But it's not something because it's a MIC from.
I didn't hear.
Oh, so visa on arrival, you don't need to come to the embassy.
Oh, not just
the more Nipane Bahano, the more Namunya Musica. It is a more pronoun, say with the Kenichi, and at this time, Sabra, Funomukrano, and a Baho, and Ameba.
Ghana, Nibia Kuta a US passport. We have this answer, Ghana. I mean, you can have your Ghana passport, but I will advise that use Ghana passport, no. Let me take this opportunity to find 2 year home for kakra. Make shame kuna say US passport nya Ghana passport so kan.
Okay.
Said e be ya oju Ghana e be ma unkuta hundie bi ayemre. What I say. But me advice because say ukuta Ghana passport na to kwanya akọ Ghana unhia visa. But me advice is because that chance munnim die besi.
Okay.
They will ask of your real allegiance. Asimbiba, na question now with the Ghana passport in the so that means that where is your real allegiance? So I wouldn't advise that Ube use Ghana passport in the without exactly Ube use 2 passports.
And it will be a victim so.
And yeah, BBA, I would advise that just take your visa and just go.
Yeah, Tiashe.
Oh, sir, you see, let me put it this way. And yet, organic, and I say, and yes, Bronya, so no be a person Kogana, Kodi Bronya. A buapayo, a deliberate, a systematic, a planned, a shishaya, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, through his then Minister for Tourism. arts and culture, Honorable Catherine Afeku. I do almost share that no the buy say they will make Ghana a destination country, especially the Black African. The Ghanaians in the diaspora will come and visit Ghana, not just in December, but after a year 2019, the year of return, no, that was commemorating 400 years of the transatlantic slave trade. I think 1649. So that 2019 was 400 years of that. 400, I think it was in August, actually September 1649, and the first 8, about 20 or between 8 to 19 slaves, you call Virginia. So in commemoration of that, in the year of return. So after the year of return, Aban Sheda to systematically plan, said Ghana will be the country to visit, especially if you are a diasporan or you are in the Black community everywhere in the world. So me person can say what we are witnessing now, the year who see Ghana, December in Ghana, no, Sebi, it just didn't come up. Yaba we need to upon and share with the Ghana Tourism Authority. Say you be making sure say every December biana, especially December, not just December, every now and then Ghana baby bia obetimi akwa. Sebi obetimi akaka where we have come from as people, especially when it comes to the transatlantic slave trade. And then also you did the entertainment portion, no account. Of course it has its cascading effect, economic boomer. Etime deba, MOBA, so inside Timi Kona, no MOBA, Timi DDB. So December in Ghana, for me, is becoming, of course, a great thing. Right. And I make us say systematic, is deliberate, it's something that is worthy of celebration. Say, kaka and another danko kufuadra. For December in Ghana, soon come.
And so more Jaffa.
Oh, and I mean, also, so
okay, make a year of return.
Me share then I make can say we no enya say bi kowo when buapayo ade bia nanado ba omia ba no ahye da se ye pese Ghana ye kra behwe amanfo pu eba Ghana. That is why you have artists and those in the entertainment industry, visiting the office of the president. It's not just for the sake of it. You say, "O man penny sebi onia da JSana or ma omoba or per se or moba." Say they be here me be ye. Na me share on Instagram. There were ladies in the UK, Black women, who were talking about December in Ghana. Ghana is lit. Like when you to the extent also mukobe no didi krana. What's now na mo ye ma krana Ghana member need to meet you amamwa. Be bisa o number and they can just pay or I pay for this table and that sort of thing. And I think gradually it's something that me person me come bebre, but person me say deliberate by the government.
But me say
my interest to say before somebody gets a visa, we know, sir, you have to fill out some forms. Those kind of forms, sometimes we collect some information, some data about the person who's doing the application. So, Sadi we no esi say ne ya visa on arrival. Na akoko do Ghana, what for flight akoko Ghana. First, do you have to fill a certain form when you get there? And sanya my visa na so you don't have to go through that form filling, because I have a follow-up question between that.
So OSHA visa forms now, all fill visa the requirements. It will ask you of your friend your bio information, your date of birth, where Oko Ghana, your friend is saying, your plane tickets. Some of the requirement that is required. Say you be on call say what do you call it? On call, like on your Ghana now also Kosobia, you need to provide an address and a proof of it and all of that. Now with the visa on arrival, because of digitalization, what I say, the moment you enter and I say Ubedu Ghana, okay, we have your friend BB manifest, we have your information, and that information requires you, and it says that it will give you the data who you are. Okay. That is the reason why I say first no ka call Ghana na ube drew Ghana, you might feel some green
card.
Won't say new hobby. Oh yeah, oh jeepa. I try to that me about
No, in May, I remember like, was it in May or something when I went to Ghana? Man, Philippi.
Yeah, Philippi.
Oh, that.
Because that information, no, you already have it on the manifest. So we said that what's the point? Your paper near saying even though we are human and your JFin is MD, but so once you enter, you buy a ticket and you enter. Oji, trust me, the system knows who you are. The system knows who you are. And so okofele visa on arrival now, you are again required to put in your name and some few information. So you know.
Could there be a chance say obi ako drew her na share information we provide, you know, na you say unqualified to rest country no one. What will happen? Would you deport the person?
Oh, sir, yeah, of course. Sir, I mean, you have to check out. Many times, but I don't think that I can provide specifics. And let me my main kind of craving show. Also, baby, when I'm forging so passport failing, visa no. No, I so I mean, you come to me. Sometimes we reject people.
That's true.
Yeah, we reject people who are filling forms. Or man filling here. You better reject to say your friend query. So filling form now say consular head of consular services. No, doing say there's something questionable. Or query, then we will call you so that you answer. So yes, say if you're who say oh yeah suspicious, we have the right to return you to wherever you came from, and that's deny you the visa or deny you entry. Yeah, we do that.
Currently, how long does it take to get a Ghana passport and a visa? Should you apply?
Oh, sir, may I advise it, Mestre, say the padodo na ya mon call your website no. Na ya also be or you class you need Ghana your new website. The consulate doesn't even have a website. Some of the people think like me per visa. I don't think Ghana for our website and meeting my car fill forms. What I say. But even now, we are advising that nobody should come to the consulate for your friend is saying a visa. So who here visa call internet no so no call fill it. Ne maili wo passport in the brain. A man for a dream pempen so be anasi. I mean some people feel say oh mail a passport no eba consulate wa ya irania de message na makaso nyesa netie. Just buy the envelope again, go to the website, read the requirements, buy the envelope fashion. Once we receive it it will give you a notification say you receive your envelope and of course it will provide you with the tracking number and everything. Until say you wiesua na yasa emelima obi the system will tell you say ya mail passport e de brel any ade. So message na make a copy say monko website so enko read yanking kind what the requirements are. Moya ni sana mbema adwuma na ya mmeramaye mbema also I mean unwan how na so you wouldn't have to go through the stress of making a mistake, because when you make a mistake, every visa application is vetted before it's approved.
Oh, okay.
And to say you're vetting, that's a problem. And also let me add that obi what information no be provide, obi the number no any correct number, any reliable number. Once you pay baby no your landline obi what number ne free or you say telemarketer and free into unpick. Meanwhile, so fill forms what the sign number in a good forms so. When you sign a fraud, na say mba. Definitely, we expect to say okay, why apply? Na ubisa me period now ubenya visa. Your services be 3 or 4. Your 24-hour service or your 72-hour service. Wow. And your regular service O visa should not take you more than 10 days, working days.
Oh,
for you to be done. Your visa shouldn't take you. Regular one, I think, Nina comes with a fee. I think the regular one should cost above $160 or I'm not sure, but $100 to $160 the regular one. Then if you want the expedited services now, either the 24-hour service or the 72 hours now, Nina or what again? You bet me I bet me now visa in 10 terms.
Oh.
But
wonderful.
Again, go to the website, read the requirements, and then another thing also is that a man for doing say offer and in fact me assistants my assistant and you be a ordinary telephone nechi ti eya monfre unfortunately onon kwa na wo ho and she responds to different emails as well any the kika want no kakra me sure say you benya be an additional person or two bia na
na mo fa badwuma we
eya na ne board hono unse visa G no eya na nisika no isu akakra
nti mo pe obi a obeje no obey tu no ho ache no aye agikitu abi
tu ho ache sa but unse your free be internally generated funds and internal generated funds sika na inya out of the visas no and yet one that can really employ a lot of people and two abine a disc free Ghana
eba
so imagine cities needs to be converted to
the dollar
need to be converted to the dollar. It's quite expensive. Nti yemunya ye ho about kakra
ebe
kakra
akoko benum so
wadaruma
we I am Mr. Mayor na me na twetwe nkombo no mse consulate wa dia home information bia no na say na eja yentenya nanka twice a year there now what
the plan was at least once every month
nanka no my briefs pa mo munim ne dia munim no but see idea open no I just book appointment
oji odi go famous
obi visa say abeye den say person yen online site be na obeko
call www.ghanaconsulaternewyork.org.
Yes.
I won't advise that to visit the Foreign Affairs website. Just visit www.ghanaconsulaternewyork.org.
Okay.
And it will take you straight to your website.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's www.ghanaconsulaternewyork.org. And I will be now it's me your application no not just a bibia atoto ye na the amount ko na koye your application no ebeboa na yenyina so yensua bibin frame. This time you don't have to travel from your state only to come for a visa or a passport. You can do everything online. What you saying?
And those in Massachusetts, you see, I'm more honorary consul.
Oh yeah.
Since when? One what was his name? But they have an honorary consul now. Honorary consul means that somebody who is appointed by the government or to represent Ghanaians there. So Ghanaian population there war Massachusetts Worcester now so any year. So we've appointed I'll find the name for you or your SD or class or SDA. I will find the name for you. So we have a consul general there. And I think very soon they will have an office there that does visa consular services, passports, and visa. Just like they have one in Chicago. There used to be one in Houston, but now it's closer. And I think that there's one in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. After them say you think mono bia ewi Ebrasho say the real politics mo kakra but just more so emotion na mo tie ne say o question be of say mean bisa ma wa na o the question no aba ye beye ne pepepe e de ama na eja menya head of information wa idea ono susu eyi ano me so check up politics and before mo ho ye
Oji. Well, let me put it this way. Compare say from 2022. So that means last year. And I started the internal reorganization of the party. I.e., you elected polling station executives, electoral area executives, coordinators, constituency, then regional, and then the national executive. I think the kama. Then you be flag bearers.
Good.
And then of course ye orphan constituency. Orphan constituency means baby any seat no constituency any MPP ye seat no, and also ye members of candidates for members of parliament. And I think the Bosumi Adaye Newe Nimuano, Yebe all the MPs in account. So far, Obisa MPP said I think na Nyamia Dom, Penifum, you know, that party, the national chairman of the party, Stephen Yesu team, who is my father, and I worked for as his director for communications and branding. And then Justin Kodua. But do you know I was made the director of international affairs for the MPP?
Yeah. I heard about that. I think I even sent you a message to congratulate you. I heard that when you're in Ghana now, was Sempa.
Oh, okay.
Yes, now only Obi. You interview. That is when I heard that. I think you've just been awarded that position. Appointed. Sorry. And me text you. I congratulate you. Yeah.
So
yeah, Mautinkwa.
Oh, I'm no more.
It's over.
No, it's over. I was given the choice to choose working here or stay there, and then I decided to be here. In the meantime, stay here.
Okay.
And then so I think so far, omo character. Any said you musuno any omo binti and abua party in this career.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. Because where we are now, almost 8 years of the government. You see, let me put it this way: when it comes to political governance, there's a difference between politics and government, but there's also an interlink between politics and governance. Of course, political parties majority of the time form the government. So they intertwine, work it together. So back together, that political governance is extremely important. The assessment say, how do you manage the politics, the daily politics, as against how you manage party executives, their expectations. Now, compared to other political parties, again, also doing things to fulfill the general populace. Ghana for Dodona. How do we marry the two? Extremely important. So when you have that situation for 8 years, especially in a country, not just in Ghana, any other country for that matter, Ahona Ube realized that there will be apathy. Because obi wo hwa sebi adodade no opia na beso ne so. It's not everybody who is an active member of the party now obetimi anya party no ho mfaso.
Okay.
And then there are also others they contributed one way or the other even though they are not active members of the party who have expectations of the party. There are also those who are sympathizers of the same. Omo there MPP wa bemu aye o makono keke. Almost were expectations. So when koso ebuma na eye enipa ho adwuma eye ntino enye den ya obeti obi na so enye den ya you might not be able to achieve your expectations and now your target or your promises sa nyoma we nyina koso a ede sebi people will disgruntle, people will feel like okay me we menya mfaso so when you have such a situation
which has started it's been there
2017, January 7th, NS Shas here. When the government takes shape and starts moving, then it begins. Because your appointment, and that's a whole minister for, say, agric and our trade, you'll be disappointed.
Right.
Who expect to say be CEO of a particular public institution? You'll be disappointed. You'll be disappointed. So disappointment in there right from when the government is formed. A man for get disappointed and disgruntled. So for us to be where we are now, of course, people are disappointed, but on a massive level where like car, my boy, my team, a woman there. That's where I can safely say, mpanyufo we aya there.
Okay. Ahono awode aba no mani age. Ye hwe ne say. Mpanyufo we bai. Ena na ye hunu se ebinum ho a ya redra wo mo. Ebinum soso ho a omo ate wo mo ho. Efri mu ebesi ne ye hunu se mpanyufo ya frɛ wo mo. Se wo mo na omo sinkonwa. At least obana sabi wagya ne nan agu ona sure nka yentwa pepa na pepa ebesi ne the likes of Alain Kojo Chairman ye hu ne say ono resigning from the party from the whole Canada, now having active executives, I think Shenanka, it's worth it. Senka, friend normal, at least Kasabu and then I can't what demo, Nankasa kind of apart in Ember, and they watching the movement, or Pushy, or Baby Facey 2024. Secondly, yen share to say last week or two, now your hopes in Adoyawaha. One lawyer number abia someone nipa be four strong men and more for 50 or more membership as NPP for ebinu mo wa omo kwade de bia omo de ma kaneam ana nyante. Talking about these vibrant executives office say wo mu dwumedie esweni. Does these examples situate of fact and does it add up to vibrancy? Now if so, what have they done to save these people once we know politics is done with numbers?
The Edikai, I know, and it's public knowledge, say, Mamisha is in free soroho. Honorable Alan Chamatin.
Okay.
Answer now. Before Obe Kasiwa resigning from the party, you call special delegates elections. And now sending a signal, indication say Bibia and Kosuyi were party there were deliberate attempts
of Reagan.
Look, the other day, Hopes in one, I called into the show. And
right.
Mimpese, I, for one, don't want to go so much deep into the issues because it doesn't help anybody. But what I was saying is that what they did is not worthy of emulation. And you say you should any political individual. And yes,
what I will explain. The executives or the members?
Alan did. Honorable Alan Chamatin, what he did. And yeah, dear, I will say yes, Sudia. And ma will be our person, Yaman yourself. I will tell you what.
Tell me.
I know, which is public knowledge, said the chairman of the party, Stephen Intim, visited him and talked to him. I mean, it's public knowledge. That one, you'll be in him. And I also know for a fact, say the chairman of the party, of course, which is a public knowledge, worked for Alan Chamatin, 2007, Stephen Intim. On another year, the coordinator for water region.
Right.
So, and so what to say, Alan say our stronghold, of water, and I think Hobson even reaffirmed it here. It's because of the work Intim did for him in water region. Then again, 2010, Intim year was his director of elections. So when it comes to say about to it was Intim, Stephen Intim, who was his director of election. I'm talking about Alan Chamatin. To the extent that Intim had to suffer because of the work that he did. And that's not Yema Alan Chamatin. And I follow Stephen Intim in his campaign tours. Anywhere you go, people wanted to find out, say, where is he affiliated to? Whether he's in Alan's camp or this camp and all that. And in 2018, Adia affecting them and then winning elections, was an interview he granted. People read meanings into it to suggest, say, our Alan camp near the other. Why am I giving these facts? I'm telling you, OG, say, and yes, sir, Pennyfor at Nasi Normal Shanghai. They have the chairman of the party has a personal relationship, and I can tell you for a fact when Intim won, they announced results on a Sunday early morning. In the evening, I was in his house. Honorable Alan Chamatin was there. Ohinto was there. So, and you said the chairman of the party, after his relationship with these people, will just go back and just will not work to make sure say they will come back. So, you see, Akula or Yari Obewu. They have decided that they will leave. Now, let me come back to justify the Mika initially about this is not the first time he has done this.
That I know.
Okay. And then the second one, suggesting and then putting out, say, like, lose your special delegate elections, Ne buapayo, obina non-peso bebabe the leader or the flag bearer of the MPP. Meka NC who is not true. Because the reason I'm focusing on him and not the others is because it's not fair and it's not worthy for him to do that. Me anytime be I met drive the Liberation Road, I'm talking about Ufri to say Medina air bar between call airport hall call ABR Rage Honamna. I see Oko Udu Legon area more. I see his signboard. Anytime I see it, I'm shimmy. I'm shimmy because why would he do this? It's not right, it's not fair. Because I know say when Juma to no lose elections no. Because elections it was for him to win or to lose. It was easy. This was an election that he should have won easily.
You sure?
I am me a politician. Oh.
I know.
I follow politics. I'm a deep politician.
Whereby say
I am
clear. Say all MPs have come together to support
because
one candidate.
and I'm come to just tell you why. Politics a science. A deliberate, a systematic. You said that the way to
work.
You have to work. You have the way 1 + 1 = 2. Then you say political science. You study as a science. You experimental.
Okay.
You the call library. I mean laboratory. You study. Say you see and you say. He thought that it was
a done deal.
A done deal. When he thought it was a done deal, no, Dr. Bawumia was working on underground police station executives, helping them. And I recall again, as the director of Stephen Team's campaign 2022, we were helping delegates. There were times you traveled MPP national, that was regional delegates conferences. So all the 16 regions were doing their conferences at one place. We started in Daboya, Damango, in the northeast. No, I know your northern region. No, northeast rather. That's where we started in Daboya. And you called that Damango. When he came there, he didn't come, one baby. Of course, Dr. Bawumia one baby. Dr. Bawumia Suma Openi Fred Owari to represent him. And Alan Suma Openi Sadiq Abubakar Boniface.
You're forfeiting.
Anytime, and I went to almost all the regions with Stephen Team. Anytime Bia Kobia, Fred Owari will speak and tell the delegates or the people, say, this is what Dr. Bawumia Suma is saying on Fambra. No, no makasa. And the opportunity existed for Alan and Sadiq Abubakar to do about Nahonyeshi. And I told you that opportunity existed for him. And to Abanos Okuteska no person Kasa. And in fact, Penny be or Hobiani Mani Kasa. The bomb so
Abano Okutesika no person Kasa.
No, Wabane be or Wachedi the ma Sabia Maba, Honorable Alan Chamatin Samonje. Na monfa tua canopy amoko ha yeka and monfa ntwetwa amoko kanibia yemanin kasa. Is that what you're saying? I was there.
And they would have allowed him.
And I also said to you, say there were other delegates in Pennyform, but they allowed them to talk. So it doesn't matter, of course.
Without them,
but I am making the point, say it was a deliberate attempt. Dr. Bawumia, to ensure that he will endear himself to the people. Do you get my point? So what can northern region that one? When you get there, they will tell you, say, okay, from Daboya to Damango, Ube drive it 3 hours, 4 hours, now won't do it. So you are expecting that Obia or free, baby a chili about Daboya just for that conference. Now Penibia catching is one just important to call on Fanfa can call non tonsua. What you saying can come? Exactly. So I am making the point that Dr. Bawumia worked for his victory. Alan didn't do it. But you mentioned the 4. Mami, 1 minute. 4 na akano. Now, no, him too. Former General Secretary of the party.
All right.
Buabian Samoa. Former Director of Communications. Member of Parliament for Adenta constituency. Sadiq Abubakar. Former Minister of State, Works and Housing, even in Kufuor's administration. Okay, a member of Parliament for the New Patriotic Party in 2 constituencies. I think one in the northern region, I think Salaga or somewhere, and then also in Medina on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. Hobson, a member of the MPP communications team, national communications team. that group, you have no idea what will take you to be part of that group, the National Communications team. And also a presidential member of parliament candidate for MPP, Katamanso. Okay, these are individuals from a or party. But I'm telling you, say, party ni mo jinabre. He gave them all these titles, and they have enjoyed. In fact, Hobson was the deputy national coordinator, national security coordinator, in charge of our port. Do you think there's a small thing to be a national security coordinator in Ghana or in any country for that matter? He was made the deputy national security coordinator. So I didn't buy. I call elections. Never lose. Allegations are or the buy. None of them were substantiated. Of course, one unfortunate incident happened where the agent Bako into Kwabi Baya and that was one incident. I'm not saying say Efata. He wasn't even second. He was third, and we are not even gone for the main elections. Was what? Then the main man himself. In fact, Wabobra, for himself, private man, and also for MPP. But he will be remembered more for the fact that he was made the ambassador to the US, Ghana's ambassador, and the longest serving air trade minister in the history of our country by the New Patriotic Party, not any other independent party. By the New Patriotic Party, a New Patriotic Party, no, and Ghana for do no and pim. Actually, and a do mojano mokra aquama party no abedu assembly to make you a minister. How many Ghanaians can become a minister of state? But we made you a minister for Kufuor time. We yen bear 4 years. Nanadu Danko Kufuor time. We yen bear 7 years. Kabo me saying
11.
MPP nye odembio. And they will say yakwa abatuo na odwin say obi esheda and on peso be winning tino. What to want? And just what to want what to want party. Knowing very well, say the obey never affected the New Patriotic Party. So what should I? Almost that's what they are doing.
Coming back to that, the party's chairman, they only know a personal relationship, right? You say a party, no, more the patrons there.
Council of Elders.
Council of Elders. I just a BBC, they will also have to come in. Have they come into contact?
If Metna catch or say minim, say be a Honorable Hackman, Uzwajima, a corner chair, na me. But I know, say they were attempts. At this point, me and I don't say my friend, because actually so imbuye. But and I'm reminding them of what the MPP has done for them, so that recently they say electoral commission so they can change. They can.
So be best is Nigeria. Yeah, normally a general approach, name how Omokoye. Me feel it is even the communications are quite bonting. Ebinum ya obeya ya obekwa akọ ya brel o aland ya sa no wote o we num de say yenja wo mu ene ade but obobo ye ho watimi am obia profile how important they were and how strong they were to the party and the benefits in power. Let's put even the benefits aside, but how they have also worked, because to get any of those positions no easy. It takes a hard working person to be there. Sankrofu nyina mo belusu omo. Does it sound a classic now? To you, say 2024 be easy. Amamo in win the election.
2024 is not going to be easy for any political party. More especially.
Let's be specific on NPP.
Any easy. Any election be any easy. There's no election that Obi Akwa. In fact, the only time Obi call elections or doing say it was easy was John Dramani Mahama, former president, 2016. That's when you thought the elections were
after President Mills.
After President Mills, he came. I mean, when he
called 2016 or no
call 2016. He thought it was going to be a done deal. That was the only time you could tell that in a system that the incumbent, the government felt comfortable. So elections were minding, maybe near. Otherwise, Charlie, elections in Ghana because what we can't do work in every but nipa no koto abana unjina ho. What I say. So I will tell you say any easy. That notwithstanding, the fact that ABR what's that number? Any numbers in your positive numbers, so we have negative numbers. Why? So number be or what? And what the and 0 also is a number. If you multiply any number by 0, you get 0. Number be or that's why not just obey 0 and obey negative. So number no, you have to let it go because it's clear. Also, so can say a communication a free part in Hoba as against them. But how about almost communication a free or more Hoba as against the party? Is it an indication?
Sometimes, sir, while working very well for the party, but do be business often say, "Oh, effort I would shame it's not valued, it's not being appreciated." It can act, it can push you to act.
My main case, personal examples, and I like that. I know how they feel. Again, I said on TV3 the day and remember a cholet and the morning I was on TV3. It wasn't easy for me because I have a personal relationship with Honorable Yawabian Samoa when he was the director of communications. Honona or drafting me in at some point when I felt like my bread, maybe jargon and politics or to come home, to come to the US and just he called me Joy FM or Joy News TV, no a program, no train me a program. So he called me. Then Kofi Japan, who is now the CEO for Youth Employment Agency, was a deputy communications director. We were there. He called me, Kofi, I will need you to be part of the team. So don't think they were free. What I say. And at the point, I recall when I was also the spokesperson for 17 in 2018, he called me to advise me. So he's a person. So it's a difficult thing for me to say about them. But the party is supreme. What I say. The party is supreme to the extent that, look, my point is that it hurts. It really does. When after all the hard work, again, Alan Chematin, when the president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, elected, now when one crossing 50 plus 1, no? Now one can say, okay, tell you know what? Me wo mre kakra me wo mfie so pani wo de call ukowinia because 8 years of course now man pani kufu aboy adwuma so it was assured that we could have won the elections acha by 2012 2016 there everybody say 8 years of course I'll be part of the government so me okay now for time I so say or say me na be lead party in be president and again Samuel we should age is not on my side anymore he's about 70 now for dream so say cause say yeah. So I understand and share with them because personally I've been through before. I recall Massachusetts, 2013-2014. Now I'm over to Aba for chapter executives. Mese me ko jina general secretary. Ebi mu jina am si kum. Omo mini omatikwa pa da biye makofi enye general secretary. Yeah. To the extent that guy be one a champion, Kwame a champion, na yo a dimbia, Nimran, dimbi or Murphy. No, super so chairman. Young guy be. Or there are some no court, Massachusetts. Oh, yes. Because be me imagine some Kofi Ami and be general secretary because Nipakona or general secretary dadano or non person money general secretary. And I told them say they told me they would let me be any executive and I told them
from the secretary.
I said I'll go. Do you know say my mama engineer for it. I also decided I won't contest for any position. But I voted. And I was there. And I voted too. I went through this, but and boom, and I can give you personal examples where and party for no be how the experience. In fact, when you, with the greatest of respect, the president even has a bad experience with the party.
Of course.
Oh, be our party in be our bad. Do you know how long it took Stephen Intim to become the national chairman of 20 years?
Yeah.
Okay? Polypark so that night, Midjana Misu. Because I know what I went through. It wasn't easy. And here, Mamika Semicho, also I'll tell you here, and I'll say it. Because I always wanted to say it in Ghana. But I'll say it. When in team, Stephen in team, 2005, he contested with McMenu. He lost. He was even the first vice.
Right.
McMenu was the regional chairman for Western Region. Onobe BT, you know. Okay, a whole first vice now. Regional chairman BT. 2010. Just so you know, so now 2007 was supporting Alan Chamatin in the heat of that campaign. Look at how close it was and how heated it was. Of course, now Omampeni Kufuor was his political father. So he supported Alan Chamatin. 2010. About elections. He lost against Jacob Echebilanto. Of course, Jacob was very popular in the party, so he was okay. Then 2014, it was a done deal for Stephen Intim. In Tamale. Now who knew Paula Foku? Even till now, apart from him becoming the national chairman, who knows anything else about him? Do you know what Alan and his team did? They supported Paula Foku because his father, Francis Afoku, financed your friend is saying Paula Foku. So they left Stephen in team after supporting him, working for him in 2007 and 2010. And then they supported Paula Foku to win the elections. Okay? And the Bisa Jose, again, a private matter. The relationship between Stephen Intim and Alan Chamatin after 2014. And do you know what President Kufuor did? Right after Stephen Intim had lost the elections at Odu Airport, Ofri, Tamaludu Accra Airport. And now, Kufuor, friend, I want to work with you. Now, be so that Prime Minister now you call for 2014 to become a flag bearer for 2016. That's how come he went to work for Akufo-Addo as his coordinator for Ashanti region and Bona Hafu, Stephen Intim. He did that for Akufo-Addo.
Okay.
So I'm answering your question by giving you this story. By saying, Senka Stephen Intim, at the Yao. Like Eddie Yawa a course 2014, and no, remember those who are listening to me and the party people will be surprised about what I'm saying because all this what they had thought in team the Alan Nipa. But look at how he was disappointed. He never left to say okay, where disappointing me, where so disappointing me, where so bomb me, where so disappointing me, and the party in Mejai. What is it, Stephen Intim Wakasada? Even in Kufuor, which I was part of the campaign, and I spoke for him, and I know what I went through. When he lost, I see me part of me free moon, name free muchina. On the same platform. After everything. After everything. And when I say after everything, those who were in Kufuor, they know after everything. Yet he didn't leave the party. And at 2022, Namiadom, he won by 72%. So, see, I can say, Obiayo Bibina and Ubu food here, then I don't think it should be a good reason for Alan Chamatin to leave the party at all.
Wonderful. Mr. Kofi Ameya, and I'm waiting kind of head of information. Yes, Ghana Mission, and Katsano. Komono, Nashasi, and I'm who's our fire side. Information.
Yeah, party Ghana me fire sano.
Okay, I don't see NB before yes, Ramo. Sani amo kono no. I think ABSC pain. Last was it 2016? Mona Nanado before so by your president, you know. And Paula Foku no mudi no buy say 2015. Na a year to election say and sa no ma we buy omuyi party chairman party general secretary suspend you mono. It's more the say mo start say mo say na say more rituals no mo sa be wi ni ana. Okay, you ever heard the way so effect we so at the ebeba. Now, let's come back to our governance NPP so far more the Mangana Ekwakushimuno. But before we go there, just about 3 days ago, the former president of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, Abe make a comment to be about his should he become the next president of Ghana, Wasia Omotre, obe review, sir, we know, obe call it for remarking because of it said the results now the abano. I think sir has been doctored. And I said, as an Quadano, the factor, or if you say it's not true, something has been done to it to make the case pass. So, come away, often saying,
extremely unfortunate.
I didn't hear.
Again, a platform I'll be calm discussing issues about the former president because sometimes what I say I need. Oji Kasano can enjoy and say we follow politics, and we follow him because he's the leader of the opposition party, Yet see ne kasa bida. We nyamwa. Ne kasa we nyamwa. What kind of anyway, but if you don't pay attention to him, you won't really know like what he carries. But I can tell you, what can he do? One of the many things that and I'm saying that it's extremely unfortunate. Again, and let me say this. I remember any resource and our resource your omissions or your commissions or your actions or inactions. The results that was na Sebi I was you the edikan share they be I Ghana for so ya bre mo kika ya sumni free SHS the papa and let me tell you why me call secondary school oji call secondary school me sure definitely say where nya free SHS those days you call a secondary school me ma me na juma say enti na busua na hwe me and me ma me me aduane eba school a on ma me nya aduane bio unless e bia ya ma me time sama coffee
right
what you say ana say e bia wa ba yi wo kwa na me ko school papa e Ghana St Peter secondary school ana wa ba yi wo kwa na e bia o be ka so gi ma member stra coffee eno no e bia wa ye jollof no a pay dinat unim dinat sa ni dona ya chechire no
shoto
say dinner time different dinner. So how do you have such a child going to secondary school? And again say the man by the time one maybe 2 weeks better no o guy you know she turn million no need no here was say no am asa and the can do call down here na say eh say you aduane bi adi na bro bi inchenche any quick baby ne kokonzo and no also didn't to survive. Sika crab de be mo atu botom kra no. 1 year a week later na send ye call canteen bush canteen untimi nkobi na wa kodidi wo honi ade. But say if you have a situation like that, how does the student concentrate? Akra no be concentrate no we sua or they come. And I also remember omo no mu ntua mu school fees and omo ntua mu school fees we na no mo ye borders no. They were not allowed to come to the dining hall to eat. What I say? And the students na come out dino. E dey no call prepper. Obetimi adidi. Say answer na be call prep no say you call dining hall answer about prep. Enti when didi na come e dey no a obetina e classroom e dey no obesua. But with the free SHS no, sir, additional we nyina free ho. The students are not paying tuition fees. And you may be an kawafo no sebi also mo to ma do school near books ni uniforms near the I don't know ye flow ni nyina ban se wafa enti wo a wo fon de also ya so be hwe oba no school na nti so wo hwe oba na wa sumdue na bibia ye okay so timi di sua de a on sua de nkotwa afei ye the more contact hours aba se no be tia teachers for come say oh they spend too much time in the school nto ma bre. Right. Because they're having more contact hours with the children or the school in Kolano. What I say. So these are deliberate systems are binding putting in place. Ama Sebi. Today as we talk, past questions. You want secondary school. Yeah, you use past questions to control exams. And then you use abandon your mom free. Those days, how are you going to get a past question? Okonya wa infa. Yeah, ufu ni BA. Okonya bi wa infa na wa kosuya. And I recall and I remember very well. You draw English questions are your teacher no be set no ube call books ye nuanim bia mo ma wo fo scan no more book bia ye pass question be ye 19 92 past question. It is all book no we sua na say abeye repeated questions are onja. But today Aban is providing all these things for the student. Into omo nya ade say kane no. And then omo akoya de na omo achieve these results are omo penny millions. And let me tell you why he's doing that. Political reasons. Sebi oman no do any oman ye yo any oman nkoso no eni na kumem. All he cares about is to become a president. Because how do you tell me say and cry achieve these results? Oh, you couldn't have said anything. Put the facts together.
Oh, just say.
Mami fancy and Nabisako, Mr. Nidium.
Oh, so say on show concern.
I know number one. Number two, it's just a clear, crystal attempt to ensure say obey poo free SHS. Because when him say one policy it holds the nations together. And its benefits no thereof no huge MPP but they do a so at every opportunity biano also or says free SHS no whether boa na mboa
now as if feasible so bet my I cancel or I bet my say no me.
Of course
me. On yes.
It's not cast in stone. Free,
yes.
Let me tell you what free SHS is. On yes sir. On ten states and I said say be
also be review on cancel be cancel.
That be Tio. First of all, listen to his antecedent, his history. He has said just before he became a president in 2013, 2012, free SHS was on the front burner. Near Kansas and free SHS 2012. Or ye added be over 50.
Say feasible.
Say feasible and plausible.
And idea papa. You know there or a campaign will be a year.
It's okay.
So all the policy
it's okay.
No, so feel say
yeah.
Or bet my review.
It's okay. Then the policy was implemented.
Okay.
September 2017. I was there, West Africa Secondary School, Ewadenta, when the president inaugurated it. Aba, a year later, after a year implementing, I won't see a implementing. No. Or see, one can be review, also be cancel no because or share or man no sika ye what any sika ye spend or free SHS no. Around that time, 2018, now Omana spending 2 billion Ghana cedis on free SHS. Or see, it's not economically wise to do free SHS in Ghana. Now, say any power no be catch us in the midst of our economic crisis and challenges. No be catch us be reviewer. What will be your conclusion? Say also on bad yet. Now if you also about be shemwa. Now say be logical conclusion. You want to arrive at a logical conclusion. What will be your logical conclusion? Because already you are demonstrating say at the end of pay. Oba be review anything. Kasi me ba be twice me ye. Now kasi be reviewer. That means that it means for Bob Beckham, and indeed, on yes, he cannot friend because he doesn't have the competence and the wherewithal to find money to finance the free SHS, thereby cancelling it. Simple as that.
So, okay, track system. Okay. You know, okay. So, you know, a honor hygiene because a man could only feel more than as some school. And what we need to do is to build more schools.
Of course.
Great, just to provide enough accommodation, employ more teachers, so that betting so any other. Well, all these things are part of the revision. All can one seminal, and as some all can see, you know, more tikwa pie.
Yeah, tikwa pie. Ghana for you, no more tikwa pie.
Menya Ghana for you na. The Ghana for you na ampa. Me feel as some all can. They are very serious. And my minister, he mentioned 2 figures.
Okay.
One. Teachers' involvement in the examination malpractices and the students themselves, to the extent they binumukrano
or the legislators can.
Okay, great. All these 3 people, they worked for GES.
True.
What's the Ghana Education Service about?
Yes, there's a statement.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. They've responded.
May try and
oh yeah, yes. I will show you.
Mesro, any of mammy.
Oh, messenger, mammy. No, I can't.
Just I walk around, kind mammy.
Make a sentence. Make a mouse. Make a sentence.
And you hear me. And exactly what they said.
Kabonu. I think it's on Nagrats.
NATS.
Graduate National Association of Teachers. He has also reprimanded the former president for saying what he said. Okay, and of course, I will show you what the GES also said. The ministry actually said.
Yeah, no, me petty.
Mati, so I say, Opo Sina say, Meshwe Mawa,
I me mentor ade kakra so hwehwe de amame no abusia for Arcus organic mixture then aso yasene me de dwumade we nyina e de abro eku papa e be ma skin no atoso na edi wasem e de amawo me pacho ade sane yehu a me pacho wanu yi aba wa bomodin preko na fe ehunu se this is the right time so be the right medication for your skin or skin na ye som kura wonte me pacho wan kasa wonte me define wo color body parts they be on the different colors kambom na nya ba akope na wu yesu atimi ahu se me ba no oni me sure kuno awe kan for my Arcus organic mixture 9178363155 friend sisi a ni indidwa so wo pet scraps facial scraps skin for your feet ni sa no me nyina o ni nyina or oil so a bit more stretch marks na yi bibia e dey free or dark spots no nyina no e be clear na wo nim wachi wa homkan nyina be ba skin ho na skin no asha say akasa for our case 9178363155 Lodan drinks Lodan e be ma wo drinks papa say ye sobolo say ye ginger say ye atadun say ye nsefufuo say ye drink bi e be ma wo party no atimi agina so yi na edi depa no mesro for Lodan e wo 347-740-6093 obefre no Kesty event or decoration on my home say a few in for year program be ameko be na Kesty event decoration yes on so boy jumapa mon family in Kesty obebo say floral decorations and bibia no baba ye e the amount kama fresh 646-841-6420 646-841-6420 ofre no or baby be the amount me pacho pe obi am na ye aduane about party ase so the party no ebechi legit now say yes we there emu eyede eno ani keke ruby cuisine or no so be mo aduane papa jollof wachi akwele aprapransa yeah shito me banku tilapia chicken acheke osieta opoi me pacho tumrika for 646-530-6126 or for SCA obehwe na chese 646-530-6126 on so babesho CD Medical yeah you feel no we are Ghana ni so one krata so uni krata one insurance uni insurance me pacho baby obi adi na ni chere this time CD Medical yes okohope omu ewo Grand Concourse no 222 yes udru ope ombehwe kama monko na monfamo niche CD Medical Dr. Boache the Boaches mechia mopa kama nyame insuramo nyame enyamo kashie yeda mo ahye remember back I'm say mensa akan let no Mr. Mia Ekase GES the Ababontin yeah Ministry of Education oh okay great me pese we there mbama me kwan kakra bi na mahwe me pese me hwa the attention of the Ministry of Education has been drawn to a statement making the rounds on social media in which a former President John Dramani Mahama challenges the 2023 WASSCE results and indicates poor supervision of the candidates during the examination, hence resulting in better performance. He further alleges that teachers colluded with candidates to cheat during the examination. These statements are calculated attempt to downplay the great strides made by the ministry in improving learning outcomes in the country. It is imperative to know that under the presidency of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa, we have made monumental progress in core subjects from an average of 40.93% score A1 to C6 in 2015 to a highly improved average of 69.73% score A1 to C6 in 2023. Attached is a comprehensive comparative analysis of 2015 and 2023 results. We wish to assure all stakeholders, especially students, parents, guardians, teachers, and the general public that the Ministry of Education did not and will not compromise on the quality of education. Such a statement aimed at impugning the integrity of the vast majority of our hard-working teachers and students should be condemned by all meaning Ghanaians. As evidence of Ghana's superior performance in the WASSCE, we recorded the highest ever 8 A's, A1s in 2020, with Ghana recording 411 8As out of the 465 across the West Africa. Are you kidding? Wow. It is worth noting that over the past 6 years, our students have consistently performed better in the WASSCE as a result of the notable interventions due to the free SHS policy, which allows all students access to better prepared math, science, and math teachers, core textbooks, remedial packages, support to support low-performing schools, and increase contact hours for teaching and learning. Okay, thank you very much. Because I've been very furious about that. Na me who say or can't say same way, and no cry. It's not the power of NPP or any political party to react to say an now or because I see he who alleges must prove. No, so on the evidence. Okay. I'm quoting your kind.
No, I also here because he's a former president, commander in chief of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Dangerous.
What is dangerous?
Okay. The NSMQ, National Maths and Science Quiz. We see the effort at schools this time they put you in. So it's not TV show. And then you come and tell us, say teachers are not doing well. Teaching and for that matter, reports you don't side say with them say a true results and they subject to be reviewed. But in fact, I was a teacher. So I was a teacher. About my simple question, I say, young fan say, we're winning elections. Wababe the next president after 2024. Wababe review no who say ampa. Dear all can no cre. At that time, asoma ye kin 2025 26 wo be bio. And kwadane desire results na rural universities mo wi. Omo bi kra ya be come final years. Sad dear no. Are you going to withdraw them from the school ana? Should their results be compromised? Meaning that they make out my
oh yes.
Okay, great.
I was coming there saying
okay, great. It is a ano ba. Ube redo free universities no, any colleges no makono ana. And what happens to the fees?
Fees simple.
The amount. No, say the baho. One after the other.
I feel no better media.
Na omada je no, any sa no many no. What are you going to do to them? That is how delicate the issue is.
First of all, I don't speak for the former president.
Okay.
And that is why I am saying that. Ghana for Ninyana Sassimi or Kanye or Moyama Shum. And again, I made the point respectfully that I have followed him. And I was me and for him to have said what he said. Me Kofi Ami and Yebe Tibebri. But now can BBC Sebi and Kolano so obey reviewer. First of all, there is no review that he will do. My name make it a point because they pass the years and based on the factors that I have enumerated and explained to you, and again on their own strength. So if you want to question whether those who had 8 A's deserve it or not, in any case, we have almost 4,000 students and about 400 Ninya 8 A's, and now more excelling here. So sometimes compare when they come to abroad, when they travel abroad, our performance, is it good or bad? We've had Obiano Award Desu, or co school or 90 about 5 miles to go to secondary school. Onya 8 years, you didn't call Harvard. I know all year wonders. I think or you didn't call Robert Gordon at the UK.
Right.
So Harvard. Lady Florence. So are you saying that these individuals got the results because Obi
and these students is almost called National Maths and Science Quizzes. I'm about 8 A's.
Wait, that's just the 3 on bet now. They selected 10 for each school.
Everybody in the club or Muscuso. It's not just 10 and so a club or Maths and Science Club. And for that matter, no, they have about 50 to 100 students. So almost year exams now among themselves. So before they get the final 3. You're serious.
So the statement because for partisan political way and clearly it's shows that he's empty. Only be before Frobia or the Bema Ghana for. And as some more can you won't. And yet Ghana, the old can you say, and Cranabetron for. Let me can't copy him say. So Oba to so that he would be able to win back his credibility. And I said, Yankasi Bia, the Okan, open the Okan, the more high. Or bet me institute or put a measure in there to deliberately fill those batch years. Deliberate, so a president. Yeah, Muno, say we are in review, no, and Crano, true say, I establish, say, or more, say, even when there's no evidence. And look at the consequences thereof. Even if he is not able to do that, and God forbid he becomes a president, I know he won't become a president again. No? Do you know what the ramifications? It means that a Ghanaian student who passed the WASI are qualified to go to any university abroad. The bar would have to be raised. The bar raising bar man because even your former president doesn't believe in your results. So you have to put in measures to really ascertain whether results will deserve
your entrance procedures.
Like, why would you do this to young people? Young people now, you never had faith in them. Say, I'm moving to me and secondary school for free. Left to John Dramani Mahama alone, no, over about 200, 300,000 students are hitherto. They were falling out after BC year. And them some our phone to me school fees, no. Today, these young people are able to go to secondary school for free. You never believed in that. Obiaba, nasa oyes amomwa. Now ma bomo mo diyecha. Who say tunso nueguso. And I think this is not fair. Our phone tie. And it's a bamboo in Mebruno or Muchas after almost Omuntie. No between the two political parties. The Oji Omoho. The dream pay Subia Ghana. No, we use our sentiment and our emotions to elect presidents. You share the Akosu Bakubine and Yenya. Na Ghana dear. But let's look at let's look at the value of what Akufo-Addo has done. Akufo-Addo Bawumia has done. Of course, they have done some things that are questionable. But the net of what they have done, the value of what they have done, and no na say we are seeing now watch Romana Segana watch that bar. Ya de bufuo any akomaso any atinkanti yes Uncle John Dramani Mahama bra. Today me and you we were discussing December in Ghana and we are excited about what is going on in Ghana. For 4 years Ghanaians were sleeping in darkness. What do you say they would have been a December in Ghana?
I say they are Samba back.
Say Kanye
Dumso is back.
Oh, rah.
Aba. Ese akwano nyame adrum na afura santo na abade kane yesi ho. Afura santo awie say. Afura santo awie say no. Ghana for him say omo. Ombega every day is a Guinness record singaton.
No, Dumso is not back. You and I we know what Dumso.
Ghana for mom on I'm confirm.
You and I know what Dumso is.
Not that intensive Dumso na yeko or the Ghana ko for days and what. But and like Obibetimi, yes. Obibetimi attack and 1 week. Abraham on experience a power outage or cut.
I would want to see a situation like here in the United States. Me who say Kanye call off that. Unfortunately, our systems and certain we will experience maybe a light out back home in the week and all that. But I'm telling you a situation where a whole 4 or 5 years. 5 years so won't mean that can you 6 hours out of the 24 hours. And let me tell you, OG, and so that we are clear, it wasn't the absence of infidel and now dropping and now generators and now available in Ghana. You call no. Again, and yes, dropping there were no turbines. To power.
What was the cost?
Financial, because we have to buy the fuel. We have to buy crude.
More somebody and then cost.
Remember, we have to buy the crude.
Matthias,
we have to buy the crude. We have to buy the gas.
One time national next host number. It's either
we have your generational issue and your distribution issue.
Currently.
No, in the energy mix.
Okay.
Energy flow sector mix. Your generation is like the from Gridco. Omone independent power producers, no more turbines, no food, no, do good for them no more. Where you don't have money, because Ghana we have more installed capacities. You won't feed me a power, Ghana can hear all the time. And can you say one day cram prograno, and even a single minute Ghana, you see that soon. We have the machines available. Okay. If you have the money to buy the fuel or the crude or the gas, you have it running. Then we have the distribution issue or problem. And only electricity, ECG, how they distribute it. Omo air terminal stations, no, and now power stations. So uko ufitakra de abuaze thermal plants. Our plant now is opposed. I can see FDI generators kese. When they have an issue with one particular plant, ABR, BBR say for to be one, and then of course our power lines. Before what we used to do our power Kaniano, and I'm told classes in so talk I said anything those days in so tope ubona light no call for no in so to ne egusupe na e cause breakages near there. So because of majority of the problem, doomsday problem, and I said like can you call off right now no any generational problem and a generation problem. A distribution problem. ECG FDA ABI our power station being one can it's not area be to call any sign your man. Of course, sometimes to ABI Sikahuns and same being to know. More independent power producers no my gas anyway. They can say okay, Sikana yes, petty say ECG bebre and buy. Intimon fan by idea shut it down one of our plants and also be affected areas. But all in all, for almost 7-8 years now, Ghana for have enjoyed relative supply of power, and that you see, and then I make us say, I mean, you use sentiment and emotions. I am not saying that we are perfect as a government. We have never been perfect, and we will never be perfect. Okay. But I'm saying that we are better than the alternative.
Okay. May I say, where Mr. Kofi Ameya Frederick and Yanino to train Komono. He is the head of communication Ghana mission, and then Yanid Komono. Osan a very strong member of the NPP national communication team. Ti uhune sado ne position. Ti se uhun se ye free consulate wono and na free mission no enkomo no co politics mu or a politician anuntia na ye di na wura ho sa no. Eti wo asem bi se bi mano na obi ona ne no ya adwea. You can express yourself in the comment sections. No, na ya kind so at the amount. We are live on YouTube as Edinkra TV, New York. We call Facebook, so we are live there as Edinkra Radio, New York. So and as we call Ghana Web also so. It be my search for Edinkra Radio, yes, New York, and also so and I sign war. Baby, oko Diggy Box and so Edinkra Diggy Box and so channel 1. Also so you can enjoy that and most of other television stations. The Unyanya Diggy Box and be this is the moment, the time, the hour to call for one. With my friend 347-350-1857. 347-350-1857. I just said. Also so waje wodie kama enti mesrawara ko na ko hwehwe wodie sisi okay medase bebre kama okay yamra back na yenhwe NPP for mako to mo aba sisi mo flag bearer yenhwe you say there more train and Ghana for train who vices the flag bearer and that's the running mate. Yes, I know. Criteria has been mofaswa mutimidi selecti running mate. Ya no a party no can be and as a sole decision of the flag bearer and say obeying a running mate and if so, often say normal bench and ayana a komuma mudi a running mate. First, the answer mommy say, is it the party's duty? And NASA is the individual, flag bearer.
Is the
candidate's duty. Okay. Can the party also have an influence in that?
Of course.
Oh.
So the constitution says or selected OBI, also the Bar Council of Elders. No more approve.
And see, could there be a point so betting the OBI banner Council of Elders are rejected with the MP?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you have it?
Oh yeah.
Why they are?
Oh, even President Akufo-Addo, Dr. Bawumia time. I mean, there were times. I think the president presented a candidate, the party really didn't like. And then the party also suggested a candidate. Then the candidates didn't like. Yes, and then they brought Dr. Bahamudu, and eventually they agreed. In fact, let me give you a story about politics. 2007, April 10th, it was my birthday, so I remember.
Okay.
Now, Professor Evans Atta Mills wanted to divorce himself from the Rawlings influence. So now, Rawlings no more pay Betty Modi Juice to become Atta Mills to run with Atta Mills as his running mate. Okay. And Atta Mills didn't like it. Then it was Atta Mills' company was the Ahoy brothers. So what they did was that they called a meeting with the Council of Elders and gave JJ a wrong time. They told him the meeting will be 10 a.m.
Okay.
By 7 a.m., no matinasi. Atta Mills has selected John Dramani Mahama. I'm a Council of Elders at Jiatum. So by the time now Council of Elders no Ajiatum, so there was nothing you could have done about it. And I remember that your friend is saying, young man, or not young man anymore, but or member of parliament. Kofi Adams was the spokesperson for the Rawlings family. He was even interviewed on Peace FM by Kwame Sifakari. What I say, almost 10 a.m. So sometimes it happens that the candidates will have a choice. The party will not want it. The party will propose somebody, but at the end, eventually, the decision rests with the candidate.
The candidate, okay.
But I think that the school of thoughts suggests to say the running mate should come from Ashanti region. I support. The MPP. The MPP will win these elections, 2024 elections, primarily because of strategy. Strategy. And among the strategies includes a candidate from Ashanti region.
The stronghold. The
stronghold of Ashanti region. Of course, we are near secret. Obvious for say, because in 2008, with MPP winning Ashanti region and even Eastern region, we were able to win the first round. Just the two regions. So if we are able to win Ashanti region, of course we will win Ashanti region with the greatest of respect to them. And then by the margin, and our percentage, it shouldn't be below maybe a 75% cry. Okay. And then Eastern region shouldn't be below 65%. If you're able to have even these two, and you lose, of course, with the rest, you bet here and there. But the money here, a problem for the NDC is the candidature of His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. His one religious background and his ethnic background will play a critical role, especially in the northern part of our country, and then in the Zongos, inner city Zongos. These are so when you are selecting a running mate, you look at it from that angle. Of course, not just because the person is coming from Ashanti region, but also he understands the politics of the day. And the party also wants him because you are going on the ticket of the party. And for that matter, also do be a party no dono, a penasema or say free region or now region also penasem a deba. And I think they ought to two and Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh fits that criteria. He fits that criteria.
Okay, the opening nipa waba otimi abo udi ding like per analysis nowadays. Man, wetimi come straight with say sani pawe yamfa man. It didn't be bring every Ashanti region at the aba. The likes of the education minister Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Osei Mensa Bonsu, and I think the Pentecost pastor yes. Or so and for say blending a Muslim with a pastor, Christian too.
Babesu Japan, community Japan.
Kabineti. One of the one shada popular in the list, no sir. Send me so analysis here. But my say now he's been very active and very close to Dr.
Bawumia. Free party.
Right. So yeah, honestly, obey me, obey me any effect. But then I think now Pocho so speaks volume. That's and where he's coming from as a traditional home, and also it play a little role. Fast forward, Mube you say so what can religious background, what can the vibrancy and the tribal way in so a womb. This time them say tribe no ever play a role.
It has always played a role.
It does, but not all the time.
Always.
But this time, no. Also, this season, a very, very strong. Because you're too northerners, no. Right. And when you go to the northern part, and what Tim said, the Muslim community, no, you're higher than the Christian community.
Slightly, yeah.
Yes. A slight on.
Oh, not so much.
Oh, is that?
That vast. No.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them are Christians.
Another
call Upper West or where Muslims in the I think there was a statistics recently presented.
Yeah.
Oh no. And yeah, predominantly no. Catholics were hopper. Yeah, Catholics were hopper. They are not predominantly Muslims.
I see. They may say okay. Now I thought that the gap
they were about 58, 42.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you for that education.
And that's huge.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Yanshe. Yanu danche. Yahuno say yankoni say, but then, and normal. This is going to be an election between two strong parties in all Ghana, where a former president is coming against, let's say, the former vice president.
Only former that.
A former vice president.
No, still the vice. Still the vice. Or vice because on the 7th of January, he's still the vice, yes.
A vice president, okay. So now, records will play.
Yes, a lot.
Okay. Adiebia echa niparifi. Pain. But then, and ni say ye share how the system is going. Ghana for ahochira oba. Bebrena esu unemployment force omo employ omo ni ejuma na esu onu nso omo ye ejuma na omo aketu ya ntumu ana market ya kemu omo nso esu
omo aketu ya kemu aban na say individual private
no aban omo ye ba ejuma
o dey me so but obi eni o ya ban ejuma na aketu
no
ebi ni ho me ya ban ejuma aketu ya nke
enya o na dabi o mu dia ye ka ona omo ye under why oh service personnel these are they are not okay great sankrofo we mu nyina ewo afi susu
omo nje salary ntina
na allowance yes sir oh okay great na afi no say wo hwe senior eni policies eto ababa. So I
policy.
Think, yeah, will be the policy, but so these are my manifesto. This idea. I never knew say to about until the last elections. 2020 there, where people can refer you say, oh, I'm voting on these policies. As somehow can at first, then say how Ghana. Any some say convince me with policies. Yeah, more MPP, more they buy for 2024. How would you go about it?
I think that this is a very good question I haven't had in a very long time.
Thank you.
Mike President. Very good question.
Head of information.
So first of all, there's no doubt. Okay, and I make no excuse. I make no excuse because Ghana for Tuaba. They vote for 4 years. 4 years in a year, about 1,200 days. Okay. And every single day counts. 20 minutes say another year away. In Georgia, 1 year we are. Yes, the Ghanaian has the right to be angry today, if even yesterday you gave him everything, because directive principles of state policies indicates say. Or say abanu ye bibia se Ghana ni hu betono It is a Ghana and anyone tono and an auton and not an own tono. He has the right to complain.
Right.
What I say. So currently, what we are experiencing, and yeah, dear, and my government here very popular, because of course, this country is at its needle, and cost of living is stratospherically high. Me say, especially in 2022 last year, it was a very bad year for the government. It was a very bad year for Ghana. So, looking at it from that perspective, the Ghanaian has every right to be mad at the government, to be angry, and of course, we are in the crosshairs of Ghanaians. Okay. They are not excited. That notwithstanding, Ghana there can be again. My president say Ghanaians really do vote on policies, especially from 2016, 2020 till now. What I say, and based on that policy, and then that understanding, Ghana nim say, "Eye nipa wo dwuma die, enye den ya ba no nya ni nyina pepepe de bia." Okay, so they will look at what this government has done. And just so you know, say debia na debia kauna nyomemo ayedin say me jitum preko pese man to aba ma say enra nyomemo ye na nyomemo ayedin ni say ye moboy sobo nemu no entina nipa won kaye no Ghana for won kaye say before 2016 from 2013 basic 2017 no man penny John Dramani Mahama ye o man penny no Sebi no mine name wording to the extent that Oman Penny for 4 years of his administration, every state of the nation's address, he lamented on the economy. President Mahama never fixed our economy. In fact, his first state of the economy, 2013, Oka say again because I am in Kwanam Tin can be be our so. Oka say Adebaku edi mani nya pa ye wage bill. Wage bill ni sika di ma adwuma foka. What is all kind maybe say yawinam nam na kadompe. Right. It was on that day in that statement. And Oka say ye di sika adwuma foka to the extent that you need the be impuntu adwuma nti ama economy nothing. Right. 2014 that was when we had the worst economy in the history of Ghana. And no reason is that China any economic problems in Tinama are affecting Ghana. What I say? Yes. Then 2015, of course, we went to IMF. And then kakran IMF programs, yeah. And then Fofia and Tuata, 2016, or the free abem. So for the 4 years, all his economic targets, he was not able to achieve them. Now, fast forward. MPP campaigned on 5 thematic areas. 5. MPP campaign on 5 areas. 1, good governance. Oje ne dem Israel, mami cheche because good governance. 2, better education. 3, industrialization. 4, making sure say your diplomatic ties ebe tight. And I think that the last one agriculture. Making agriculture a good one. Now, look at your friend is saying good governance. In good governance, when you take our 2016 manifesto, among the things that we said we would do included to make sure that every Ghanaian will have a Ghana card to identify him. That is the National Identification Authority or National Identification System, making it robust to ensure that Ghana ni biya Ghana card. That was number 1. Ojime kana wo makime. When we came to power in 2017, after making that promises, did we achieve it or not?
Ghana card.
To make sure say Ghana, for a majority of Ghanaians will get Ghana card. And indeed, the Ghana card will become the sole identity card that Ghana will be used for their social and economic transactions. Now, mark me whether we achieve it or not. We said, it's also important in good governance, at least every household must have a unique address. Yan ka say bia Kotobabi Street, na your name house address, your name fee porting. So we ensure every house will have a digital addresser. It will be uniquely identified to that person. So 5 square area. And then me no ka say digital addressing system and no ko Ghana ni one Madam. Ebio, you can see the infrastructure for poverty eradication program. And no, na your friend of one district, one constituency, $1 million, one constituency, one ambulance, one district, one village, one dam. These came under the good governance policy, under the IPEP policy. So I am asking you, and I'm asking Ghanaians, were we able to do these things or not? Then when you come to the economic
I want to make my interruption. I think more 1 million there, Jacob. I call say no cry one time being say.
So our question we can the 1 million one constituency, of course, was under the infrastructure for poverty eradication, and under that program we had the authorities, the development authorities. So we had the Northern Development Authority, the Middle Belt Development Authority, and then the Coastal Development Authority. So the 1 million goes to these authorities to use for infrastructure in their various sector. You check into 3. So now the question you need to ask me is, of course, our development authorities now, would you find that 1 million used for that infrastructure activities or not?
Unless you come and tell us.
And I'm telling you that we did it. And I will tell you, not based on the MMK, and say, go to your budget statement and economic policy from 2017, 2018, 2019, up to all the appendices. And go and see, say, you discuss and fiscal. We talked about better economic management. Under that better economic management, you catch a Ghana for say you be moving away from taxation to production. Taxation to production.
But is it the case now?
And I make say they make Ghana for. We name certain taxes as nuisance taxes.
Right.
You buy 17 tax components. You cut it and now you reduce it. Yeah.
Now, say in India, taxes are Ghana for experience. It's
more
than.
I premised this particular discussion. Maybe I won't say make I know where I'm going, so me to and send my name.
And then, Mister, my main faconia is my ankasa me dofo, me nuaba, me yonko, me yere, me bibia, and no, atama me talk show, obia tininka, matama me talk show, me nuaba fefe, oba Sandra. Ntafo pa omo fe na omo sika na omo aho den na nim nyansa wonim de omo na omo maame eno no
ntafo omo
yeboy too much too boy ene eye one awoda and awoda Baba Sandra and nasa tamame ene ye awoda ye ma happy special birthday from the CEO of Edinkra and the entire crew of Edinkra Radio. Aha oye dwuma wa ha oye abushia yaronti ene ye awoda pade ane say happy special birthday nyakopon oma akwatenten a hoodin wom oma uni wonkwa na eme oma ntafo no menyeska bebre no omfa onna Times Square na munya gaga sa kama obasi basi I say o call 4 hours na 3 hours ntafo no benya sika ma obi adwuma kora wonye biem obetena fie didi no amnom no wada nyame Israel honorable to asoma be
nti oba the economic aspect in so Nana America is moving away from taxation to production. Nana America say, of course, when the media dance say you buy and around that time 17 taxes abolished or reduced to the extent that only say for almost 3 or 4 years now MPP are buying 2 Kanium and Zoom. Rather we reduced it for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
In fact, in 2020 when COVID struck, no, again, I'm saying that make baby are you free, I will do baby are you dream. And now by education, yes, your boss say the free SHS beba. Said the beya Ghana for me bunu bitimi akosku skasemunya coincide. And then who soon so ne yenya kama akona. In the next 10-15 years no ne be hu so insusanso akese pa because we are going to have an educated system. Educated youth, educated citizens. And only I buy na famba, bra. Free SHS near born and then can be possible in 20 years. Free SHS is a scam. And 419. If you quit temo and then me know cause free SHS about so and ambaso.
Abaso.
One constituency, one ambulance, Abaso and
Abaso.
Very well. Ebio, Ghana economy between 2017 to 2020, how was the economy? We are talking about our diplomatic ties. Ghana served on the Security Council. I just answer them with common. Make catch your achievement. It's me and then Ghana, your relationship with the diaspora. Of course, we are talking about December in Ghana. And then when you talk about industrialization, we brought the one district, one factory. Okay? And then look, I say we have over 100 or 160 factories are fairly new. And I knew. I saw Massina, bomb. There was this company called Star Textiles in Volta region. Under Mahama, a Guikojoto. Because of one district, one factory. Now it's employing over 1,000 people. Omona, near PPEs, no, COVID time, you can't get a baby. They were producing it. Under the one district, one factory. Do you get my point? So clearly, now let's come fast forward to after post-COVID. Okay? And now, Fufian Tuata, COVID, and it's eroded all our gains. And you just Ghana. Around COVID, na me no you kromwa. You be didi nkomo make our man penny in the statement in about. Me no be discussing statement in okromo.
Right.
And we know the effect of COVID. So me tonight me di COVID don't come. I am comfortable because we have first experiencing COVID and its real effect.
Right.
Because of man penny na do dan Akufo-Addo. E dey hihye papa gu akwemu eye nneoma yie. E ma Ghana for ye won ha yentino. Yentimi hu COVID ni so ye pa. Nanka kromo anka unya COVID sebi. Aka o ji hu mi se u be ba be free mu no. Enanka ye do call hospital. So Ghana unya COVID empo se ye hu se ye fe bibi contact tracing. Unya u contact uni obi ba in contact obi a unya COVID ni bi da. Na is established say bi a obi anya COVID. Na mu onu di nsa wo so a mu nyina ye quarantine mu. Ba be mo maduro be mo maduane bibia at government own cost. Into COVID by any day, Sebi, a dienya, and a didi mua, senka, ya boy a home modern say be free, COVID nuisance and so more. A year Russia-Ukraine war, so which Ukraine is about 30% of the world food basket was affected. It affected our fertilizers, it affected our flour, affected any more cost. Then unfortunately, the rating agencies now come rate a year with me a cost a drama so. Akonya besia bo e de abo ye hombra no almost we rate ye badly to see I intimi call the financial market for loans for anymore, and that is the reason why we are where we are today. Now fast forward and let's come back to the real issues. And I said that so because of what we have done in the past, say nenyoma nkoya na se Ghana for boy so is it fair or is it unfair? I would say it's fair.
It's fair. And when you were praised, when you did good, you need to be criticized when you're going wrong.
But we have an opportunity to get ourselves out of the situation. And we are gradually getting ourselves out. Because at some point, inflation was about 54%. Today, we are talking about 26% in the space of 1 year. So if there is a government on one hand, and at some point, has been able to bring inflation from 54% to 26%. So Udin say woman in mera. To me back to where it used to be when it was a single digit inflation. We were about 9%, 7%, 8%. We were doing GDP growth of an average of 7%, which was unprecedented in the history of our economy in Ghana, especially in the Fourth Republic. So what we are saying is that Ghanaians ye pamocho. But what we are saying also is that the alternative on also a record, John Dramani Mahama, President Mahama, he has been a president before for 4 years. The question we should ask ourselves and say, obey a president for 4 years. No, we have not experienced any global pandemic. Never happened in the last 400 years, in a century. Affected BBR. We never experienced that under his administration. But yet, Ghana near cut down and down and down. For that matter, for even 5 years. Near the Sumu, for 5 good years. We were sleeping in darkness. And I've explained to you and I've established to you, and it's not coming from me. Kokai Ghana Energy Commission's report, 2014-2015, executive summary. They will tell you, say, it was a financial problem. It wasn't a generational problem. Now this same person wants to become a president again. And I can show you what will happen to Ghana if, God forbid, John Dramani Mahama becomes the president. We will return to Dumso. It's clear. And I'll tell you why we will return to Dumso. Because when he was the president, he signed contracts, the independent power producers, and power agreements, PPA, power agreements. And with that power agreement not signing, wouldn't say agreement not signing, some of the plants are up to now use here, and that's what. Some of the contracts he went to sign, the plants we brought, we have never used those plants. But yet we are paying for it.
Exactly.
Take or pay. And we have paid almost 17 billion Ghana cedis because of that contract he went to sign. Do you get my point? So if we should bring this person back in the midst of our economic challenges, at some point, Ghana for near the Nigerian gas, it took Otunfo or say to Tuabebio to go to Nigeria and negotiate on behalf of Ghana and sign a Nigeria for bread gas. And you think that if this person become a president again, Ghana for Yensan Kodum Sobiwana. This is an individual who doesn't believe in free SHS. And free SHS is not cast in stone. It's not a constitutional BB clause. Entrenched clause in our constitution. You can't change it, or you need a certain number in parliament before you can change it or review it. He can, by executive authority, decide, say, free SHS, school fees. Then we return back to the situation where you were honey, after say, you are fascinating you go school, you need school fees every 3 months. They are near down, and that's how they try. So I am just saying that yes.
School fees the more.
Now, when the last time I worked for some friends of fees, the Ghana for the oil don't beg. Ghana for the oil don't beg. So the point I'm establishing is yes. Currently things are not that great than they used to be. But Ghana for one kayen, baby, are you free? Ya be do be so you. And it will take an MPP administration led by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who understands the economic issues, to be able to carry us through what we've gone through.
He understands the economic issues. But when he say economically, he say the hardship is super real. The Ghanaians are really struggling.
But you see,
what is the assurance that say Oba
the assurance is that
get better?
Yes,
and that is watch. Abra, we he's the head of economic
management
team, and he's in charge of the Ghana's economy right now. Okay. He's not commanding the magics. He's there.
He's not commanding the magic.
Of course,
we are not told you.
Inflation are dropping. Fair enough.
Exchange rate has been relatively stable.
Good. Now let's look at the dollar CD rate.
It has been stable.
Being stable doesn't bring it down. It's been stable. It's now within the ranges of 11, 12 cedars.
But do you know where it went to?
It went to 14, 15.
No, it went to 17.
Okay.
All right. And now it's about 11, 12.
11, 12.
So you are talking about reduction.
More I was saying.
It was 420.
Good. The increment has been over 100%.
Again, that's why you see, now let's come back to the forex exchange regime and how it operates. Your fine now 420. By 2019, in fact, by 2020, it was around 525 something thereabout.
Right.
That's about 1 cedi in about 3 years. Again, unprecedented. And I'm telling you that Ghana for for what they are going through now. But I'm strong, so I'm on kaya baby a free buy because dollars no. And what Ghana no, and your Ghana for a printy, and your Bank of Ghana na printy. A year, Bessia, your Cobono, the Euro bond 3 billion, no 1 billion, no, and the Becca you see so that the dollars will be available for our traders. So if the dollars are not available, they cannot be able to get it. And then a demand and supply, interaction of demand and supply. When the supply is low, the demand shoots, prices of the dollar will shoot. So we are where we are, not because somebody is not performing magic, but the interaction of demand and supply, and their cost. But you are asking for magic, and I'm telling you that because of the measures that have been put in place as the head of economic management team, His Excellency, the magician, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Tisiano, at least from 54, we are doing almost half, 25, 26. The exchange rate is relatively stable. And Nyoma kakra pick up. It's not the best, but Nyoma be. So I am saying that against John Dramani Mahama, or between John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Bawumia, John Dramani Mahama was not able to hold the economic down at any point in his administration. At no point was he able to achieve any of his economic targets. None, not even a single one. Even when we went to IMF for a bailout and we were given conditions to fulfill, he wasn't able to fulfill those conditions. To the extent that it took the MPP to come and extend those conditions and finish with the program. So if we are in this situation under an IMF program again, you think it will take John Dramani Mahama, who doesn't understand the economic policy, to the extent that when he was even the vice, he was not part of the economic management team of John Evans Atamos.
What? No. When he was the vice president, the whole head of economic management team wasn't part of it. He was not even part of it.
Why
would you say that? This is a serious allegation.
There were 10 members. He was not even part of it.
But he was still the head.
He was never the head. He was never even part.
As a vice president?
Yes, I will tell you again. I will show it to you.
This is a serious allegation.
Yes, it's not allegation. It's a fact. Now your friend Economic Council. Udim Kadman Atamos.
Yeah.
He was a member of it. Yes. The vice president to John Dramani Mahama, Emisata, he was a member. And I will show you. He was never a member of even the economic.
So this baffles my mind. Yes. When you say, I know it's Ghana. This is how the constitution runs. The president is an automatic commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Is that correct?
Yes.
Every president is an automatic commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. And I've also been told that every vice president is also the head of
No.
It's not the case.
No, it's not constitutional. A discretion of the president to make you the head or even a member.
Okay.
So
because he didn't have experience in the economy, and you know what, and part of even the committee.
Oh, but the truth of the matter is that, of course, first of all, John Dramani Mahama was not somebody, if not for the Ntokwana war between the Mills camp and then the JJ camper, and President Mahama wouldn't have been even the vice president to begin with. And we and I know at the time he was the vice president, what was he doing? Tell me, Chemadi or vice president or Oji, I'm asking you a question.
Vice president or
Chemadi, today we can talk of, and then you are talking about, you are putting the economic challenges we are going through squarely under the feet of
Menkai Kran. Abra no vice president. The CD dollar rate, when the fundamentals when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And that's I expose him. So more Canberra for the slogans and all the titles and the policies more my baby. And the fundamentals are weak. And the exchange rate has exposed you guys. But then I love this very question. Or say, if Ghana Beyond Aid agenda ended up in IMF, define failure.
Economic management team, let me answer our question.
Okay, anyway, mami. Now, so our question we mirror. Or question.
President Mills constitutes 10-member economic advisory committee. The President John Evans Atamos has constituted an economic advisory council to advise him on key economic issues affecting the country. This is to help manage the impact of the international and domestic economic crisis affecting the country in the wake of the global economic crunch. A statement signed by the presidential spokesperson, Mahama Ayariga, named members of the Economic Council advisory team as follows.
Yes.
Dr. Gobin Nankeni, Chairman. Togbe Afede. Mr. Emmanuel Blo. Mr. K.Y. Amoa. Dr. Kadman Atamos. Professor K.N. Afo. Mr. Fredo Hinikina, Mr. Pakwesi Misata, Mr. Ishmael Yamson, Mr. Joe Hyde. Now, let me answer your question. So, President Mahama Kra was not even a member of the economic management team of President Mills. Ghana Beyond Aid. Okay. What was the dream of Ghana Beyond Aid? that at some point, Ghana, bet me a boy on, but we can finance.
Abraham Kobobosia.
Okay, it's not about Yanko Bobesia.
Besia body bet me a boss and a boss and a but I don't find Uncle Toby soon depend will be and survive. Yes, sir.
Exactly. As we speak now, development partners' contribution to our GDP is almost negligible. In due 300 million a year to our GDP. And do you know what GDP we are talking about? We are talking about billions of dollars. Almost equal to the boy and Ukrainians equal to go your coffers to say project almost financing and do 300 million. So when we said Ghana beyond aid, that at some point, project here no rely on World Bank or IMF or now US aid and now German for projects Arabia or Accra, Roman region, they have a project team. And I see US program were established in 2004 by their Congress, Millennium Development Accounts or Challenge Account. So that was what the president was referring to. That as a country, we can decide what we can use our money for. That we have to go to the Bretton Woods institutions to tell us what we are doing. Now, why are we at IMF? Read the question if you want me responded to.
Or say, if Ghana Beyond Aid agenda ended up in IMF, define failure.
So why we went to IMF? Why did we go to IMF?
Someone to me are managing a
and I'm telling you, you see, we should not. We should not. Wait, we should not. You see, this uncle after I will answer this question. I will answer the Besambo question. And I'm telling you that what the globe, the world went through, and what the president did to ensure, say, Ghana, okay, for Duduana Enwu, and he made that statement in his address to the nation, and we discussed this here, that we know how to bring back the economy. So that's an admission. Inherent in that statement is an admission, say, the economy will fail. Oji, brafuni yekawa hano, or say, ode yankani chui, minim kwanya metimede yesika sem asa bankwam. So that means say sika sem no ebewu, the economy will die. But so be who dia yentimi fanem bankwam. And I'm saying that naturally, inherently in that statement is an admission, say the economy will be where it is now. But we know how to bring back the economy back to life. As we speak now, you and I have admitted, say we are bringing back the economy to life. So sometimes we should not negate some of these challenges. And we are in fact, President Mahama, amongst the reasons why you couldn't manage the economy was external factors. So my text and in where say Tama President Mahama Eka say external factors in Ghana between 2014 2015 no economically no they had to go to Century and eventually go to IMF. Now that was an external factor in China, just China. Today we are talking about external factors globally. So why are we not being fair to the MPP? Why? When it happened in China, Ghana went on its knees between 2014 to 2015.
Before COVID, no.
Then let's come to the
before COVID. Good. Sanya on no pass or children. Yeah, say Ghana Beyond Aid. Meming Tiasi Mukrano. Now me feel it say it will be a time where and no maybe to say tomatoes, nessa no money in our crano. Ye be jai cra. Nanke more export.
Exactly.
But as of now, we're still going through that. To the extent that Makunya Nakra wow, sir, you need say and Kebit me are building those kind of standards, no. Now I'm buying from say a quaco imported the other country, no. And the Christmas year can was MCCA. Ghana for poultry farmers, but I can tell you on authority say about 60% of Nkokwa Nkofoberi this year Christmas, no, if Rabontin ever. So what are we doing? I don't know. No.
Ghana Beyond Aid, a new event, a process.
Great. After 7 years.
No, you can achieve that in 7 years. Even here in the United States of America.
How long do you need?
Wait, even in the United States of America.
No, that I know. Say, and the 8 million total achievement, but then it's a process, like you said.
So
now,
let me answer your question. I'll give you facts, specifics.
Now, a matching.
Wait, let me give you specifics.
More to one amount.
Let me give you specifics. And let me explain the interaction of demand and supply.
But my question is in the doctor. That's a time no so.
Oh, wait me, Bisami. I'm not saying don't stop me.
Oh, kwa na me de shame.
So when you
no, so the kaka.
They can. Ghana for at any point in time will continue to demand for food items from abroad. Because we are operating a free market system.
But not the minors.
No, we are operating a free market system. Okay. Even if you have Ghana tomatoes in abundance, tomatoes is free Ghana. I prefer the one in Burkina. Because or no drinks and then pay. For that matter, you can say Bane. Even if you have tomatoes in the excess in Ghana, you still would have to import to satisfy people's demand. But are we at a point where say import at a point if it's not coming from Burkina, can we rely solely on Ghana or Ghanaian products? I think it's a hard and I'm also telling you that a process, any event. So yes, Ghana Beyond Aid was not an event that should have happened only under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It should happen under any government for that matter. President John Dramani Mahama, 2015, when he went to France and he was being interviewed, he was championing the same Ghana Beyond Aid. Of course, it should be or they call parliament in Urefi. He was championing Ghana Beyond Aid. So why is it that Ghana Beyond Aid should just end with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? Whether a success or it should be a processor, a BNB, he should aim at to make sure say you make me a boy.
Now me person me TB in sir.
Now let me give you an example. To say rice production. Rice production. Ghana consumption is about 1.6 million a ton a year. As we speak now, Ghana is producing about 1.2 million.
So metric ton. 4 per like 0.4 necessary.
So in fact, say Ghana, we can decide that we the rice from abroad. But of course, that will not happen. That is why say Okaya.
Maybe sana me pay tea.
Now say this import restriction by. It's an idea that dovetails into the Ghana Beyond Aid because that system you cannot attain the Ghana Beyond Aid because a free market, everybody can decide to bring in whatever they want at any given time. What you say? So again, are you asking that we are when you talk about, for example, to say a brew? Okay, now look at Oko Northern region, meaning MPs, politicians, they are into maize production, massive level. What I say. So we can at some point attain that level, but a process.
Okay. That's it. Wait, Mr. Kofi Ameyao. I'm saying memo part 2 of this version, no, because the next host knows so why you're ready.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Oba. And Komono Dawson. And I always enjoy chit chat with you. Yeah. We plan to do an hour. See, I exceeded 2 hours. Crack. I said maintain. Maintain now.
Maybe less than 2 hours now.
Maintain now.
I'm paid for that. So.
That's right. Yeah. Better not be arranged for next week. If you're available, then yenfa and to us because I'm saying mama signal.
No problem.
It's better was it. Yes. Now next week in Benyawa.
Mate, say you didn't come.
Okay, Mate. Yes. Now policy by policy. And there may any measure say more campaign messages for 2024. And
so far any message.
Okay, BBM sir. Okay, great. So your baby the mepesi be say your be fan under policies your fan say headlines education and since election 2024 is going to be about policies against policies achievements. Mepa ba kwa bro. Matthias open sa me
allow me to
flow
and give you more
evidence.
Facts. Okay. Because you were asking for specifics as far as maybe our food production and all of that. For example, do you know we import water? So
I know.
And do you think Ghana should import water? It's not like I think with all Belacqua. So when somebody says Ghana Beyond Aid is a failure, then you are being political. We have a system. We have products in Ghana. Say you can't see me. Not if you say you operated the free marketer, we could have started importing this. I know say you importing your madie. No, I didn't know say you importing your madie. You get my point. So gradually we will get there.
Matthias, we will get there. Heaven knows that.
Then
I will catch you if you are Santua. Ghana's Shiro.
First of all, why are you? She has achieved the impossible, and this is what I want every Ghanaian to emulate. Don't wait for Abayambeyo answer.
I love that message.
Don't wait for that. We are working for government. We are political, but I didn't sit there and waited for a government to come and appoint me. Me hear Juma said the fata, and he said yes, and I made baby, I made you. You have to work for it, and I think Wamiatia says anything and everything is possible. So if you put your mind to, at some point, I think she almost gave up. But I'm told that when she got to that point, somehow, some way, she can rejuvenate and come back. No, I mean say for that particular singer, yeah, like when she gets tired. I think say Madame Fo be sending me a video. I'm person boniji. Na me mana fishapa.
Okay.
Frida Kuku and me mama fishapa.
Okay.
Now, I sending me video where the lady was saying that she's tired. Like she's tired.
Right.
Yeah, she was tired.
Yeah.
But she came back again.
Right.
But my can say we na me fa enchane money yosuma ni kunu ani ne busuya. Ne father, ne husband and the children. And a Ghana funina Ghana for there. Mpembe na mochro odoma ne yefe emena ne yakono ba ne yemfa abasoboso emma eye nana adodanko Akufo-Addo baumia aban through the Ghana Tourism Authority. Bra oji enti ojo nze obegina ho no ono nko anwo de no de begina ho Ghana Tourism Authority ne bo eso na se
ayo
enti ye chiche abasobo de no ne yedi bia ma na adodanko Akufo-Addo baumia aban no mozo oma ya de yempene omo
yeah. But I say Mr. Kofi
me ma wetie fo so nya eni ahwefo nyina afishapa afise se na megidi ye mapa se enyoma ayeye na yetin sempa efrifi
amomreska
na yetin sempa efrifi na menka se edrum bia ya amunya abotre social media ne de mota akoko tinti nsem wa hwa na makoma akohamti 2024 de 2024 de meta abaha na msuma create content on social media na msuma tie because bra no kure wom ni say tiefo me ma me papa me nuamo adofo am hwe me na mutie me. The NDC is not an alternative in the midst of all our challenges. I can tell you on authority say moko pem hu musuma John Dramani Mahama baby wa apini tie ne ajadu e be twa o man Ghana no mambebo mu say more so oji or 4 years po there's no accountability for him. One once embassy monto ni so abonti oba de ono no oya no oye oji oya no oye enya afi na oya o de obeba 4 years time obeba he's not coming back again. He's not coming back again. Do you get my point? So Ghana, we should be very careful. Very, very careful.
Yate. Yeah, that's it. So I'm your one. Okay. I was for a cast, so me and I didn't cry way and I say I didn't and come to way Edinburgh. Over to me a friend or 917-836-3155. Silence of the Myla Homes to Ghana, could do Christmas. We near there. Baby, how bad that say Airbnb and I will pay fiato almost so do Hoto on so when he bet you with my friend more 0530-360-462. Yeah, no, yeah, sorry, Myla Homes. EcoBank Ghana, me pacho, so be your diaspora account. No, download the EcoBank app, no, and that's called www.ecobank.com. Na bill or diaspora account. No, betim disika atum. Na oko Ghana kwa you are there in dollars. No, send your open one. Yes, we see the sua betimienya from omo rate. No, very heavy and positive. You betimi this account to create ajabusia at your project. So we pay fee be at all pass. I say, over the bank and I can do huge mama on being in Ediama. EcoBank Ghana. papa no me pacho jupe sika kwan fa so send sika e de call Ghana me shrewara afi we ya mo chebro nyade no bo pede apwa na say financial transaction bia ewo high rate pa na secure, safe and faster no ani jupe no be download ato phone so unya download pe na sign up the promo code as we use no ye Adinkra NKRA and one of the tum say Kim right there. You be my bonus. Not just say which is what me you no cry you will be bronya here at the amano. Dinkra is the promo code. Into download Jupay JUPAY no JUPay not just a walk and no pepe and no ebeboa ama onsa atimi ato and so ufie. So what I say ya fro wabo abaso. My name is OG, the microphone president, microphone jetta. Me sign out. I was say, Yami Admo China. Yabesen share with Crash Show Business Entertainment Show, no, the award-winning show, no, fantastic award-winning show. Share me 2 p.m. na yam fan come on no so what I say. Me da say China variety day, a variety show until a lot of varieties. Ye di bronya ewo and as ye di new year no, ewe di nkra ochina. Na peden. Atama me once again, it's a special happy birthday to you. I'm born away from New King Edemao. Yakopon in Shroud. So unyabotre na uti me mo amhwe nyina mo amuti mirror me da say. They just don't have a message. They have been texted and failed. Okay, I say you've been tested and failed. NPP. Nya there. Nanadom ajim mama me chia pa baby a ushebia. It has stabilized a bit because of the IMF bailout. It's not organic and would rise again. NPP for thank you, OG. Adinkra Multimedia. I love you so much. We love you too. Atama Ame Talk Show. Yes. Hip hip hip. I'm enjoying the show coming from Atama Ame. Yes. Greetings to you, OG. Great show. Right. Thank you very much.
Ghana for ejodi mu cotton free amanonin. They demand $10 billion from Bank of Ghana. Okay, IMF gives us 600 million every quarter. The whole 3 years, no, remember 3 billion. So you think IMF was can stabilize the city?
More policies, more measures.
Ghana for you,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Economic doctor. As our vice president.
I can only give you love for one night. Give you love for one thing. Lay you down on a bed of roses. When it's time for romance and scent. You know be only your way. I didn't treat like when. Yeah, I think we agree, say this could be one time thing. Now one more tall, I don't catch feelings. She say she no one leave me. She say whenever she no hear from the boy then it be heartbreaking. Say your mama no want you, your papa don't want you, your brother self talk too, your friends tell you still you know they hear what? No they hear, I'm a picky no they hear, I'm a picky no they hear.
Nadia Hodges, such an interesting show today. Love it. A lot have been learned about getting a passport. I would love to travel Ghana. Thank you. Please, I want to see you in Ghana.
Oh my dear.
Make sure I see you in Ghana next year for Christmas. Now you have to go to Ghana, enjoy the season, and I tell you, you will never come back.
Catch feelings.
You go catch feelings for Ghana.
She say whenever she no hear.
Nidia, big shout out to you.
Say your mama no want you.
Go. Thank you so much for your time, for your love, your text messages, the support, and everything. I sign out from here. Merry Christmas and happy special New Year to you when it comes.
Say your mama no want you, your papa don't want you, your brother self talk too, your friends tell you still you.